Alright, today's feature highlight, we're going to look at a motion capture pipeline, specifically a retarget pipeline for motion capture. So I've got some XSense data here, which is just a character running back and forth with some sharp turns. We're going to take a look at the features of processing this onto our skeleton, and later how we take the processed skeleton data and pull out pieces of animation from it. So to start out, I need to make this part of my character system. Let's smoke out. And then bring the browser back. Okay, XN, slow motion. Okay, it's just XNs. So I've got all of my HIK settings set up in settings files from my characters. These are pretty straightforward. So I've got a serialization of the HIK data, all the HIK settings that are doing the retarget, and then a definition of the XN skeleton in T0 pose that I'll be loading on. So I load this, and we get the XN's character characterized immediately. And this is happening because I'm using my existing character settings. So what I have defined as my center, pelvis, neck, spine, arms, legs, all those, and I map those over to what the definition of an HIK character is. And we do that in the config file. This is a little bit complicated looking, at least. It's not that bad, but it is still technical. Like a mocap pipeline is still a pretty technical pipeline, even with a lot of tools to help support it. So what I've got here is saying the center head of my character should be the 15th object in HIK system, which is the head joint. In my code, I have this all documented for which numbers mean which things in HIK. It's because I'm using a mel command that's index-based, so I pass it a joint and an index within the HIK system for it to set up on. So through this definition, I'm able to grab all my character skeletal joints and map them over to an HIK character. You can see here. If I zero the character, we get it all zeroed out. So this is how the base pose should look. A very clean T pose. So from here, we're going to bring in my character rig. And my character rig is set up with all the same. So I've got the female character and the mocap character. Those names just correspond to the character names that were set up in the rigging tool. And I can tell the female to follow the mocap character. Then I also have a separate settings file that is just retarget data. The character already has this one loaded on, but if I have multiple different retarget settings, I can store them into different files and just pop them on as I want. And what that's looking at is the edit HIK properties. It's looking, essentially grabbing all of these properties off of this node and serializing that out. So I could save it off so you can see this one. My character skeleton is a little bit shorter than I am from my XSense data. So I've got it set up so good contacts are coming, but the animation is not quite the same distance. It's a little bit short. So it starts out ahead, ends behind. That's okay because I'm looking for the most accurate representation of this data on my character for this. I'm not looking at hitting specific targets in space. But we could have a separate set of settings that's like snapping the ankles, snapping the body, making sure that it's actually following the skeleton more properly. This would mean a little bit more cleanup on the end side, so I have to rebake this onto the character. Since it was correct motion to run shorter distance. We're stretching that motion out a little bit, which is going to cause a little bit of cleanup that needs to be done. But we can save that in all of our tools, save off all the settings, and have them automatically load. And this is what we get, and then we need to bake that down. This looks like in the full tools, however, though, is just one big process. This is just a breakdown of what my tools are doing. So we make a new scene, drop in the character, open up the browser. Now the pose library, the mocap library, accent, motion. So from the browser, let's hide the timeline. I can just do retarget animation. And like most tools from here, it reads what character is currently selected within the rigging tool. If there isn't the rigging tool open, it will look at the first character it finds in the scene. Or if you have a selection, you can direct it to act on a specific character without having the rigger open. So I just say retarget animation. I should have zoomed out a little bit so it was more interesting to look at in the background. Oh, you can see it's baking through. So it's done all the constraints. It's pulled in the XN skeleton. It's characterized it through the tool system. It's applied the XN settings on it. And that's being handled by essentially searching from this FBX path up until it finds the settings file, which is sitting in the XNs file. And then it finds the first settings file and applies that. Then it takes my character, attaches it to the target transfer for the HIK, uses the settings that are currently loaded on the character. So whatever settings I had loaded previously to running the retarget system, it will just use those. I have not found a way to get rid of this dialog. That's asking if I want, or I'm sure I want to actually delete the characterization, the HIK characterization. Yes, for the imported data. Pull out. You see that my character is animating along the same data we just saw. Yeah, that's all there is for retargeting. It's made it pretty simple, as long as you're able to get the mappings correct and get this all sorted out for however your character is defined and how you're defining them in the regions of the skeleton, mapping those over to HIK. And everything from there is pretty much automated. So we just apply whatever retarget settings we want. If we want an exact match, or if we want character size match, and then retarget, we can start grabbing our animation to go.